Hello, everybody. Uh, Mod here. Just wanting to do a quick video on copying all your process settings in Orca Slicer and similar clones from one printer to a new printer. So if you've ever bought a new model printer and you have a ton of settings on an older printer or just a different model, and you're going to be using both, and you want to have them settings on both, it's an extreme pain to copy them over. I've done research on Reddit, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, other sites, and just can't find an easy way or quick way to transfer those process settings, those print settings over from one printer to another. You can do it with Filament very easily, um, but there's a very little known or under mentioned method that you can do straight from your slicer, um, that works extremely well, and it's very easy to ensure you're not copying over settings that can mess up your printer, the new printer. So I want to go over this with everybody, show you how to do it real quick. So first thing is, make sure you find the one you're wanting to do. In this case, I got one, it's Altoids I'm going to copy over. So before I get started, I have to go to the new printer and create the profile or process profile that I'm going to copy it to. So I'm just going to let it go to whatever it chooses as default. All right, hit save, give it its new unique name. It does have to be unique. All right, let's see here. What am I going to call this one? This is for all the flexible type. So just call it Flexi Toys. I tend to use pretty much the same setting on all of them. All right, and that's it. Now it's ready. So I'm going to go up here and on the process line, go over to compare presets. All right. Now, first thing you want to do is on the left side is choose your old printer or the one that has the preset you want to copy. All right. Make sure you choose whatever filament, doesn't matter. Just to keep things simple, you want the same filament on both so it doesn't show you different filament settings. And then go up here, choose that setting. There's that one. All right. So over here, make sure it's got the newer printer, same filament, and that new profile I just created. All right. So there is a few things you want to uncheck guaranteed every time. The first thing is if I minimize everything here, you notice there's this group called uh, printer name versus printer name. All right. You want to uncheck that immediately because that is your bed size, excluded areas, nozzle volume, stuff like that. So you don't want to copy that over, especially if they're different, because if they're different, you're potentially going to be messing things up. All right. And it's kind of the same thing with these settings. There are a couple I always disable right off the bat. All right. So for the most part, for this example, I'm just going to leave everything the same except for those that need to come out. Now, those are under speed. You want to uncheck if there's any jerk settings. All right. Because the jerk settings are probably going to be different from one printer to the other. All right. So I'll always uncheck those so it leaves those the same. And then the next one is undefined category. So it's really easy to find. All right. It's right here. If you notice, it lists compatible printers. So, that can have more than one, but, there's going to be some stuff that you don't want moved over. Inherits what profile it inherits from and the print settings ID, what it's the ID it saves it under. So I'm just going to uncheck this, that whole category, and that's it. Everything else you can copy over. Um, under support, it's all going to be standard stuff. Same with multi-material. Um, that's simple. And then at the very bottom, just make sure your transfer values from left to right is checked. Um, that's what gives you the check boxes. Make sure the show all presets, including incompatible, is unchecked because you don't want to even try risking anything by copying incompatible ones on top of what it showed here that we're unchecking. Because in my opinion, jerks and incompatible because they're usually different. And then of course, any of your printer versus printer settings are going to be for the most part incompatibles if they're different models. So that's it. Hit transfer. It'll copy it. Now it won't save it. So you can actually go in here and see everything that got changed before you hit save if you choose to. All right. So we can go ahead and hit save. And that's it. That's all there is to copying. If you use different filament entries in that list, it'll also have a master group or top level group like the printer and the process for filament too. So you could use that to transfer your filament settings over at the same time if you wanted to. It's just I'd already done that previously using the files. So by adding this printer to the list of compatible printers for the filament. But yep, that's all you got to do. All right. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Thank you.